Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play The Occult Chronicles. In the last episode, Dr. Whom began running around the mansion, completing the quest that he got earlier, and in particular is trying to solve the witch's quest. In fact, we ended defeating the Green Man's servant out here, and now we're going to be walking back to turn in that quest. Dr. Whom is looking pretty damn good as well. He's got 40 life and 39 sanity. It is not quite halfway done yet, and a little past halfway done is about when I decide to go down into the basement to try to end the game, because we'll lose otherwise. We have some decent edges, which have been helping us out. The scrying in particular has been very useful. We've got some decent spells. We're definitely going to want more arcana power to keep them going, and we're looking pretty good. Our character's got 5 swords, 9 cups. 9 cups is amazing. Yeah, it's looking really decent for our hero here. I figured for this episode, we would come down here and explore anything that's in this section of the house on our way over to this area again to begin turning in a few more of the quests. Probably the polar bear is somewhere in here, since we didn't see him upstairs at all. Anyway, when last I left off, I asked you guys what we should do when it came to spending our experience point, but no one really seemed to have an opinion one way or the other. We can't really fail to spend this point. I think increasing our swords would probably make a more balanced character, which is normally what you want to do in this game. But I'm willing to leave our swords at 5, rather increase it to 6, and see if we can't maybe instead allow these to be used more often by getting that release chance decreased. Alternatively, we can go for something else a little different and just think about it a little more. In fact, why don't we do that since we're still kind of thinking? We'll work towards another heroic defensive feat first. It's so tempting to go here and explore around this dining room because we're right here. What could be in there? Could have this there. I don't know. There might be nothing in there as well, right? We didn't see the demon baby anywhere around. I don't think the polar bear is in there either. Oh, no, there is a demon baby here. Okay. Probably the demon that we want to strike a bargain with for the baby is in this room. Let's go in here and take up that quest. You notice an odd painting hanging on the wall. It is a portrait of a man dressed in 19th century clothing who appears to be completely petrified with fear. He holds a dueling pistol in both hands, and a group of undertakers in the background seem to be digging a grave. Suddenly, the portrait seems to animate and come to life. The coward looks at you with an imploring expression, as if he was seeking your help. You could swear that you can hear the gravediggers laughing. You stare at the man in the painting, and his fear seems contagious. You need to fight to keep your sanity. I can't do anything about what's out there. We have a bunch of pentacles and swords, but I see a scryed, a 10 of wands, and a 9 of cups. We don't have an answer for that. We'll try to avoid it. I can risk holding on to our king for a little longer, and our knight. Hey! Good call, Tim. Good call. I'll hold on knight for a little bit more. Yes! Not necessarily the best choice, as we used the 9 there, and that could also have been used to take the 8, but whatever. In a playful way, you exclaim, "Boo," to the ghost, and he starts to shake and sob uncontrollably. The coward in the portrait seems to actually be shivering. He seems to be fumbling with his dueling pistol, and you fear he will discharge it accidentally. There's obviously a spirit trapped in the painting by some sorcerous curse. Normally... Oh, and I still can't actually get the quest from this guy. Really? What on earth is it? So, maybe we get the starting quest from the other ghost, and then we come here to talk to him? I always thought he was the first part of the quest. Maybe he's the second. Let's try to flee him And we'll come back if we find the other ghost. Oh, I didn't even read that. I'm sorry, everyone. I just skipped it altogether. I'm just gonna... This is a fleeing challenge. And I think Destruction 42K pointed out that I forgot to flip over a few cards several times. So, when it comes to fleeing challenges, I guess we'll just do this one. Having seen the game files, I am aware that the odds of you winning anything from a fleeing challenge is astronomically low. Like, an unbelievably low chance. Like, you're better off just saving your time and not even playing the game. That's how low it is. It wasn't that difficult after all. You feel a little sheepish about it, but nobody else has to know. Right! I forgot! There is a very small chance because Vic Davis decided this is a fun thing to do. And you can lose courage for successfully fleeing a challenge. Another reason why you should never flip the cards. You're kidding me! Flip the cards over for a fleeing challenge. Wow. We just lost 2 courage because we were successful at fleeing a painting. Really, Vic? Really? Really? We took an edge, Vic, to make it easier for us to flee, and we're penalized for trying to use it. How does that make any sense? I ask you, viewer, how does that make any sense? I will remove that as a thing that happens from this game, and instead, maybe give you some experience points or something. Guys, what a nightmarish thing to happen to us. You see a locked wooden door. There's a worn key over right where it belongs, but no sort of key anywhere. The odds of us getting one of those is already extremely low. We got 2! For crying out loud. I should play the lottery. I'd probably win tonight. Jesus. Okay, that's, I'm sorry. It's a decent chance. Alright, hold on. I thought the tricks was the points we needed. Alright. You examine the lock mechanism and decide that you just might know how to finesse it open. Give us a try. And that lets us win the challenge. Good God, that happens so rarely that you lose courage for successfully fleeing. It's so... I thought you gained actually like sanity. I'll have to check the points again. Maybe in every single flee challenge, the only thing you actually gain is loss of courage cards. The lock opens. You're just as talented with the lock as you thought. The mechanism clicks, and you turn the knob to open the door. It's exceedingly weird because you don't have to take any card on a success. Like, can you imagine if you could win a challenge and as a reward you could just die? Like, you would like, nope, this isn't worth it. So, wow. Screw you, game 2. Screw you, too. Let's see if we can get the Rashaka in this room. Ooh, the head on a stake. You think you see a disembodied head floating in the gloom. As you near its location, you realize that it is a head of a man mounted on a stake that protrudes from the floor. Dried blood stains the stake and what was once a pool on the floor. You are startled when the eyes of the head flutter open. This thing is animated by some curse or forbidden sorcery, and it almost seems to be smiling at you. You lock gazes with the head, and you are chilled to the bone. You must fight to keep your sanity. I see an 8 and an 8 of pentacles and swords. We will take this. That was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. We should have held on to the knight and seen if we got the page of pentacles showing up here. It is too late. I'm willing to have to... So, is the Knight of Wands up here, is the question. Otherwise, I should use the Queen. It's such a limited chance, but I'm willing to risk it. And we'll instead play the page here. I'll still risk it. Every card flip over is making it less and less likely. We'll still risk it. You smile back at the head on the stake. It'd be nice if you could gain courage from sanity, some horror checks you pass. That'd be nice. The head on the stake is obviously animated by some evil sorcery. most likely some necromantic artifice. Such a curse would require great power and forbidden knowledge. Its gaze is locked on you, and you sense an intelligence of some sort. You sense a desire to communicate from the head. It almost looks like it's trying to move its mouth. Maybe you should try and find out what the head wants. We have a four of pentacles and an ace of wands. We only have one ace card. Since I am worried about drawing a face card here that is a wand, we will actually take that now. Did. In fact, we drew all sorts of cards that were better than that 7 of Wands, so I'm glad we did that. We also drew a Queen of Pentacles, so I'm glad we spent the 10 when we did. I don't think I need to use Flash of Genius either, so we're quite done. The head speaks to you. Much to your horror, you find out that he was an occultist artifact collector who stumbled upon this place 15 years ago. He wants your help in a personal vendetta. That was upstairs, if I recall correctly. The head was once a disciple of Thomas Vaughan, the 17th century alchemist. Using Vaughan's elixir, he had managed to extend his life immensely. He was searching for Vaughan's orb of transmutation on behalf of the Palladian Order. His search was cut tragically short when he overconfidently approached a cursed guillotine. He thought it might hide the artifact. In a trance, he placed his head inside the guillotine's lock and ended up in a basket. A mischievous imp thought he would make a nice decoration and mounted him here. He wants you to destroy the guillotine and break his curse. He teaches you a unpronounceable release chant that will give you the power to safely dispel the sorcery that binds the curse to the guillotine. He then requests that you return to him afterwards to help him free his soul. I don't know if we'll have time, but we'll try. You hear the sounds of something feeding. In the gloom, you see a bloated figure seated at the end of a table. Your first impression is that it is corporeal and not a spirit of some sort. You step closer to get a better view. The creature is demonic in appearance. It's busy feasting on some type of meat that adorns a silver platter. It halts its chewing and slowly lifts up its head to examine you. The eyes transfix you. Your training tells you that you are in danger. You fight to keep your mind from racing away with thoughts of panic and terror. You also struggle to keep your lunch down. See, the Knight of Wands, we don't want to use our page there. We have a 4 of Wands, and I've got enough wand cards that we can just take that to start. We have our only cups card, Mr. King. I will risk that we can still use the page on something a little better. Actually, no, I won't. I don't think the 10 of Wands is up here. So we'll use the page there. You push back the nausea and stare the demon down. You're confronted with the demon of gluttony. As red juice runs down its face and chin, you struggle to overcome a growing nausea. You remember the odd lectures in demonology. A type of demon for each of the 7 deadly sins is described by Julianus the Theurgist in the Hermetica Chaldea. These demons love to bargain and converse, and playing along with one can be very dangerous. It seems to be sizing you up like it's looking at a menu. You take a seat and manage to gain its attention. You start a conversation in Old Chaldean. There's a 2. We have plenty of pentacles, but I'm going to hold on to those. I see a Knight of Cups, and we have no cups. So we could use Flash of Genius to immediately score some points. We'll hold on to it, though, at the moment. Hello, Queen of Pentacles. I have an edge that is lowering the cards, the non-face cards, by some number. I think 1 currently, because I have a 5 in my hand already, and we drew a 5 up here as a. We saw a 5 up here as a trick. Since we can play a single feat for free, something that requires courage, we should get in use of always using this. And there are no wands up here, so we can't use that king. We could discard the cards we didn't draw to use the king, but with 32 points, we're already drawing the maximum number of points. Of winning cards. There's no reason to use the arcane power. It seems eager to hear you out. In fact, it wants you to do it a little favor. Bring me more food and a bucket. The demon says it wants more food, and it's not just any food. There's a nursery nearby. It wants a baby. And from its description, it's not just any baby. Okay. We're not crossing this yet. In fact, I don't think we will ever cross it. We didn't find the green ooze, did we? It's probably in this hallway, would be my guess. You see before you a large and ornate Baroque pipe organ. The bench before it sits empty. Suddenly your ears are filled with the haunting sounds of music resounding from the organ's pipes. The melody is terrifying, and you watch astonished as a ghostly vapor encompasses the musical instrument. You struggle to keep your fear in check. The haunting music threatens to drown you in a sea of melancholy and despair. Something supernatural possesses this musical instrument, and you must resist its efforts to chip away at your sanity. Hello? A 4 and a 2. We should take the 2, because we have a 3 in our hand. That we can leave here at the moment. We'll spend the page and hope the knight is up here somewhere. You've kept your sanity. You shielded yourself by humming a simple show tune that's bothered you for the last few months. You chuckle ironically at the fact that such a bad jingle that annoyed you for so long actually came in handy. You stand before the pipe organ and struggle to make sense of what you have just seen and, more importantly, heard. There's a powerful spirit bound to this musical instrument, via some nefarious sorcery or curse. You can feel the anger and rage building within it. You suspect it is getting ready to assault your mind again. You seek to use your talents as a medium to contact the spirit inhabiting the pipe organ and divine what it is that binds it to this world. If you can figure out what is holding it from returning to the spirit world, you might be able to free it. Well, you know the drill, everyone. Although, no, not quite yet. Right, so hold on. What am I getting at? I would love to use Flash of Genius. It's free. We could choose the Queen of Pentacles, get some free points, draw a card. But we then have to actually address the Queen of Pentacles, and we only have an 8. We should flip over other cards to spend this card first. That way, unless we draw a Pentacles card, we don't lose the 8 to the Queen. Okay, let's go ahead and Flash a Genius. We're on only 2 points, but we draw another card, and it's absolute garbage, an Ace of Swords. Now we have to put that there. Put you there. Have to put you there. Take that card. Your mind establishes contact with the spirit. You recognize immediately that what you are dealing with is the agony of hundreds of tormented souls. No, not souls, but a psychic pain that still resonates in the pipe organ. They want something of you. You think that you finally understand what you are confronting. The disembodied death agony of hundreds of souls has accumulated in the pipe organ, either by design or accident. The negative energy manifests itself as a single entity, a self-aware super spirit of anger and rage. You suspect that you are witnessing the end result of many a black mass and vile sacrifice. It wants your help to free it, to seek retribution. Many years ago, it was sabotaged by the will of its creator. It needs you to seek out its missing parts and a sheet of music that can release its trapped rage. First, find the grandfather clock, where the missing parts are hidden. Then confront and destroy the evil organ master ghost that weaved the binding spell and hid the missing parts. It possesses a sheet of music that, when played, will break the curse. A clue! I did not expect to find any more clues on the ground floor. You hear strange sounds coming from the walls, like fluids are moving about. Either the plumbing has gone completely bad, or something is not right. You see a locked wooden door. Let's try picking this lock. We gotta hope there's pentacles up here, because we have 3 of the 4 face cards for pentacles in our hand already. I have a swords card. Unless the queen is up here, I should play the king. I don't think the queen is up here. You were just as talented with a lock as you thought. Let's think burst of speed. It would make sense because we have sprinter, so this would play very nicely. This would play very nicely with our character's initial edge. Roll 1 bone and then select X non-face cards in hand, where X is the number of cups rolled, and bump their card values up plus Y, where Y is your cups attributes plus X. Then draw a card. So basically, we would make them 10s, just like that. So many of these are just okay. we have all. Unless I wanted to go for the flat basic cards. Lightning Reflexes, Preternatural Senses, and Artful Dodger. Basically, it's easier. The number of points needed to win is lowered. The number of trick cards placed on the board is increased. The number of cards we draw is increased. I would have thought Trap Spotter would actually give us scrying, but it doesn't. Trap Spotter just makes it so that we can absolutely have cards in our hand. That always seems like a useless edge to me. You're going to get 1 card anyway, so that means you need to invest like 2 points in Trap Spotter to make it worthwhile. And even then, this would only be good if we had a low amount of cups. But this is on a background which gave us cups as an upgrade, so I still don't understand the Trap Spotter feats at all. They seem like anything that says that you must have an X number of cards in your hand, like, because some challenges we'd be like, you only have 2 cards in your hand, that's it, because our stats were so low. But that's not going to be the case for at least Cups challenges, and arguably for any of them. And the amount of work it would take to make that edge useful, oh, that's quite a lot of points, and I'd rather have almost anything else increased instead. Let's take Grease Under Pressure. Your initial card draws for any Evade Traps challenge must include at least X face cards, where X is the level of the edge. And let's grab that Talisman Edge, I suppose. I've been putting it off for too long. Let's take it. And I think I would like something. This one. X is subtracted from the chance that a water talisman that we possess will be released when placed on a result card that is revealed, where X is 2 times the level of the edge. So, let's select this. And this has made it so that, as you can see, this went from 6 and 7 down to 4 and 5, making it more likely, or less likely, that is, that these will vanish if I select them. Very important because I need these to increase my Cups score. Another locked door. Oof. 1 page. That's the highest card we have. We might as well use it here. We have the 10, which the page would be useful in taking. We won the challenge. Guess I can't complain overly much, Tim. In fact, you used most of the cards. Look at that. We are talented with the lock today. More luck. Okay, let's go up this way. Oh, here's where the one thing will be. The device that the brain wants us, I think, to destroy, right? We do have that quest. We got that quest really ages ago. Yep. The polar bear, I think, might be in here, too. A row of talking busts. You notice a row of sculpted marble busts against the wall. You count 4 until you notice that one has fallen to the floor and subsequently cracked in half. A sudden chill comes over you as you watch in amazement as the faces on the bust begin to move. Lips pucker and cheeks flex as if they were warming up for something. And then they begin to sing. You hold your hands to your ears, but the ghostly singing will not cease. Some jingle about grim grinning ghosts flows from their lips, and you just wish the noise would stop. It might drive you crazy. If it doesn't. Hello, sword cards. Oh, hello! Look at this, everyone. We can see the Knight of Wands, and we have the Queen of Wands in our hand. We'll take that. That's very efficient. There's no reason why we can't play the King, at least. The Queen would take everything the King could take. Except, well, obviously the King could take the Queen, but we have that in our hand, so no reason to spend it. We'll spend the Queen as well. We're winning this challenge with the most we can possibly earn anyway. We'll risk holding on to that King. You start grinning right back at them, and it seems to annoy them greatly. The chorus of talking heads continues unabated, even though it has no further effect on you. The heads seem to be having too good a time to stop. You are certain that some sorcerer's curse has bound spirits to these busts as some form of punishment. Just who was being punished, though, is an open question. You decide to use your expertise as a medium to attract the bust's attention and see if you can find out what their story is. They might have useful information, since they seem to have been sitting here for quite some time. So you'll note I never select any of these other options. I always select the quest. This is because, if I recall correctly in the game files, these don't have a good chance of giving you anything useful. It's a tough challenge, and you don't get anything for it. So, and this gives us basically the same rewards that some of these would give us. So we might as well get the quest, and then we have the option of turning it in later. We'll spend the night. No reason not to. We have to spend the page. We have a swords card. We have 2 swords cards. Oh, we should take the 8 with our 8. Hello, Knight of Pentacles. You enter a trance and start singing along with them. It's painful, but messing up the words and being dreadfully out of tune, you get their attention. Soon they are begging you to stop. That's when you take control of the conversation. The busts were once members of a family that resided here. The story is muddled and conflicting from the various heads, and you are sure they are lying about what happened to some extent, but the short of it is that they were cursed by a Black Lodge sorcerer. They are unanimous in their opinion, though, that you can help them. The sorcerer also cursed a statue of a gargoyle. It resides somewhere in the house and contains a coin inside that, when used properly, can break the curse. You're confronted with the strange machine that seems to hiss and crackle with otherworldly energy. There is something very odd going on here. You sense that it might be dangerous to get too close. The technology reminds you vaguely of the photographs that you saw that were taken during the first interdimensional war against the Talisrati. This might be a portal generator, and if so, that is bad news. Remember what happened at Tunguska in 1908. You have the codes from the brain canister, but the control panel is a confusing mess of symbols. You should be able to grok this one out. You'll need to be careful that you don't pull a Tunguska. Well, we have a single Pentacles card. Since I don't want to flip over a Queen of Pentacles and lose the Knight, we will just spend him here. What do these do? Oh, right. Not useful to me at the moment. I have to remember I have that card. Hello, 9. We also have one of those. And we've won, just like that. So I actually don't need to use anything else. But we should always try for Flash of Genius. Nothing. We did get to draw a card. The card was not a Cups. Jesus. Good thing we won. You enter the codes correctly the first time. You're a goddamn genius. You see a large wrench that has been attached to a very old steam pipe that runs along the top of the wall. The wrench seems to be the focus of something supernatural, possessing a slight aura of some sort. The aura radiates a hint of eldritch evil as far as you can tell, but it's more like a warning. Danger. Caution. You decide to twist the wrench to remove it. It looks old and nearly rusted onto the bolt, but sometimes kicking a hornet's nest stirs things up. Are you sure about this? Oh. But sometimes kicking a hornet's nest stirs things up. Are you sure about this? That's the proper tone I should use. Yes, we are sure. We will take the 8. I can do nothing about the Queen. Nothing about that 9. We can take the 6 and win the challenge. It wasn't easy, but you pull on the wrench until it grudgingly comes free. At first, nothing happens, but then the pipe begins to rattle. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. You step back from the pipes, but it's too late. Tendrils of red vapor swirl from out of the pipe and coalesce into giant tentacles. You can feel an oppressive eldritch evil now permeate the room. You can feel its hunger. The tentacles seek you out, and you are certain that they want to consume your soul. You fight to keep your courage from utterly leaving you at this crucial moment. The tentacles intend to floss with your soul, and the idea is very disturbing. Okay, we have a Cups and a Wands. Both are low. We can take them, and we have extra cards. So we're going to hold off at the moment. We might as well spend the Knight there. We'll spend the page here. And we won the challenge. Spend the 2, Tim, and then spend the 7. That's very nice. Always like when that sort of thing happens. We can take this. You have kept your sanity. You stand your ground and maybe even feel exactly the same as you felt originally. The ghost tentacles flail out at you, attempting to wrap themselves around you, and then seek out your soul. It's an embrace that would leave your body lifeless on the cold floor, and your essence transformed into some bizarre part of the spiritual food chain. You know that you can fight and even destroy this apparition by channeling and directing your psychokinetic energy, but you have no doubt that failure will be very costly. Indeed it will. This is one of those chances that you can get an impairment for losing this, so we don't want to lose. We'll hold on to our page at the moment. Hold on to our page a little longer. We'll spend that page now, though. Yes! Ah, good call, Tim. Good call holding on to the page of Cups there. Ooh! And luckily, you didn't turn that over originally. We'll spend that page there. Spend the Queen here. And we've won. You beat back the ghostly tentacles and crumple them up into a ball. You open up a small ethereal tear in our dimension and stuff the ghostly ball within. Give me an Arcana card. You are surprised by a sudden flickering of shadow that spreads out around you. You feel like you are being choked by some invisible force. Your eyes bulge as you fight to gasp for air and the dark shadows swirl around you. We're taking that right now. We only have one page of wands. We don't... Well, one face card's a page, so we don't want to... And it's a wands. We see the Knight of Wands. We don't want to flip that over. Ooh, might actually fail this challenge. Nope, not today. You shake off the feeling that you are choking and finally breathe freely. Two creatures of the shadows swirl around you. You recognize immediately that you are dealing with the type of ghostly creature that feeds off human emotions, fear and pain being the most succulent. You can either stand firm and fight them psychically, or run and hope to fight them another day. Well, we'll shadowbox them. You throw a few jabs and notice they actively avoid the shadow of your punches, which I'm doing punching. You can't see me, but I'm doing it. For a second, they hesitate. That's when you realize you can take them. It's going to be a bit of touch and go, though, metaphorically speaking. Our pistol can be used. Our pistol can be used. Remember, Tim, you also have the machete. Have the machete. In fact, let's use the machete here. There we go. Might as well use it. Perfect opportunity. We haven't had an ace. They had a 2. Change our ace to a 4. We get 2 points. Hello, Queen of Swords. Guess what? We have the king today. Hello, Knight of Wands. We have the queen over here, too. Now, I'm super glad we did what we did. We took this face card with the most efficient card that could take it. Look at me. Look at me go. It's like I know what I'm doing. It's like I know what I'm doing. If I use the Wembley, we will take that card, but we're already getting +7 cards, so we don't need to do that. Not many people are afraid of their own shadows, let alone others. Looks like these nightmares should have been, though. That will make up for losing all that courage. All that courage being 2 points, but it does make up for it. We have all that courage back now. My goodness, the amount of rooms is unbelievable in this mansion today. You see the outline of its distinctive shape in the gloom. It still takes you a second or two to realize exactly what it is. A guillotine. This, however, is no normal guillotine. The mouton and blade, pulled up high, glistens with wet blood, and the bascule seems to beckon to you. You feel tired suddenly, and then you realize that you have somehow, unknowingly, taken a few more steps toward the death machine. I love that idea. I love that idea. You feel a wave of panic engulf you as... realize that this cruel instrument of death is slowly drawing you closer. You realize that you must resist its siren call or risk losing sanity, and is possibly your head. I can't do anything about that Knight of Wands. We have an Ace of Cups here. We'll hold on to that. We should play the Queen. Very nice. You will your feet to stand their ground and shield your mind from whatever foul sorcery is at work here. You stand before a work of art. Polished wood and burnished brass fittings adorn the guillotine. The craftsmanship is astonishing, and the splattered blood detracts from it not at all. You can also sense the arcane curse that has bound an evil spirit to this horrible contraption. How many victims have caught sight of it only to find themselves sleepwalking to their doom? The release phrase taught to you by the head on the stake should sever the nexus of the curse that binds the wicked spirit inhabiting the guillotine. Let's hope you were paying attention. Klaatu, Klaatu, Baratu, necktie? Oof. Well, we got an answer for you, although we should flip over other cards first. We gotta flip over cards first, right? Let's do that. We have any pentacles? We do. queen. That was a mistake. I should have spent the other card instead. Spend the king. And we've won the challenge, so I don't need to worry whatsoever. We're going to win by a landslide, apparently, as well. Six points. Drew a 2, which we can't do anything with. Let's put it up there. You feel the nexus snap as the curse is broken and the spirit swirls away into some other alien dimension. Solomon's Seal. Another talisman. It's fire. Fire talisman. It's nice. Your attention is drawn to an old tapestry hanging on the wall that depicts a medieval battle of some sort. It looks like it should be in a museum. Examining the battle scene a little closer, you immediately notice the large red hand that divides two groups of armored knights. Suddenly the battle seems to come to life. Knights charge the hand on both sides and are knocked to the ground. You stare at it in amazement, wondering if you are hallucinating. Your eyes widen in disbelief as the battle unfolds before you. A ghostly vapor seems to enshroud the tapestry. We'll take that now. I shouldn't have done that, though. Should have flipped over other cards to start. You remember the night that you spent in that museum at Miskatonic University. If you could survive that, then this should be no problem. The tapestry is obviously animated by some type of sorcery. It might even be possessed by some malign spirit. You should proceed with caution. It isn't unheard of for something like this to function as a doorway or portal to another dimension. Once in, you might not get back out. We don't have the other part of the quest. We'll just leave it here, but I doubt we're coming back for it. We don't yet have the wall clock, so we're just going to leave this here too. And we'll make our way back over on this side. Actually, we didn't even find the whatchamacallit yet, did we? The polar bear. But I want to turn in the quest of the witches. While we're here, I guess we'll do this. You see a large wooden brass gong. It looks completely out of place standing over by itself in the room. You sense immediately, though, that all is not as it seems here. You've seen enough of these things to notice the faint aura that surrounds it. You have no doubt that the gong is a sorcerer's puzzle of some sort. The markings are vague, but you would place it around the pier to the Three Kingdoms. There is definitely dark magic at work here. The runes covering the wooden frame must contain the instructions on how to use the gong and access its abilities. Oh, I didn't read that. I'm sorry when I just clicked on it. So we are trying to decipher this. There's a 7. We'll spend the knight. There's a 9. We'll spend the king. There's the queen. That's a shame. We'll take this. We have a swords card. We have a swords card. You recognize the runes as the secret language of the enchantments that adorned the terracotta army of the first Qin Emperor. They detail an invocation. You follow the instructions to the letter. I should have used Flash of Genius. At first you think that nothing has happened. Then, suddenly, a ghostly aura enshrouds the gong and you. A flash of light blinds you for just a second and you know that a gate has been opened and that something has come through. And its presence is terrifying. You know from your odd briefings that anytime a portal or gate to another dimension is opened up, the effects on the sanity of humans can be quite disastrous. You feel a growing sense of fatigue and despair in the presence of the dimensional rift. We can take that 4 with our 6. That 7 we can't do anything with, so it will just stay there. Yes! Have a Pentacles card? We do. We'll use the 9. You see things far worse than this. In fact, you were present when the Cacophony Gate was closed with the Lost Elder sign. This pales in comparison. Directly in front of you, a shimmering Chinese dragon now floats, its tail coiled around the base of the gong. Its glowing eyes fix on you, and you hear it speak directly to your mind. I have come to grant you 3 challenges, if you can first prove your worthiness. You step forward to prove your worthiness. We have a 7 of swords, there's a 2 here. We'll spend it immediately. That's why I didn't want to lose that card. Oh, maybe I'm not worthy today. You convince Shen of your worthiness to proceed with the 3 challenges. Good, mortal. You have convinced me of your worthiness. You must approach the portal and recite the oath of entrance. Once you enter, you cannot leave unless you best all 3 of the guardians. Should you fail, you will be destroyed. On the other side, you will face 3 challenges. The first is a trial by combat. The second, the test of the body. And finally comes the examination of the mind. 3 teachers await you, but first, you must open the gate to the arena, and then step inside. Remember Shen's warning that once you have entered the portal, you will not be able to return until you have bested all 3 of the teachers who await you on the other side. However, you believe that you are ready. You decide to bravely step forward and recite the oath of entrance, and then cross through whatever portal opens up. We have a few kings, 2 kings. That's pretty damn good. We're nearing the end of the challenge. I'll start spending my high cards here. Holy crap! Look at that. Recite the oath, and a door of shimmering, and the door that shimmers like rippling water at sunset opens up before you. You take a deep breath and cross over. The mist clears and you are greeted by an old man dressed in flowing embroidered Chinese robes. He appears to be a scholar or functionary of some sort, and yet he is armed like a soldier as well. You feel that you should know who he is, but you can't quite recall his name. Greetings, Lost One. I am the spirit of Dong Zhao, tyrant, chancellor, and once grand tutor. And now I must school you. Choose the form of your destruction. Oh my god. Oh, this is fantastic no matter what we choose. He's an overweight man with a sword. I think I can handle this. Let's see if that's acceptable. Maybe not. We only have 2 face cards. The next highest card, yeah, it's 10 of cups. Maybe we can do this. We should immediately play the king, just to make sure we win this challenge. It's all in the reflexes. Oh, I should have used the sword. The machete. Dong Zhao crumples to the mist-covered floor of your pocket dimension arena. In a flash, everything shifts like you are jumping from one train to the next. The mist clears and you're greeted by a young warrior wielding a gigantic Chinese polearm. Greetings, Lost One. I am the spirit of Sun Se, soldier, conqueror, and hero. And now, I must test you. You have only to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge to survive my blade, and you will advance. This is from Dodgeball, isn't it? The 2 dodges in there. I think that was what that quote's from. You position yourself in a ready stance and raise your hand towards Sun Se. Without a word, you motion with your hand for the test to commence. 2 kings? Oh, 1 king, 1 knight. We'll win the challenge instantly. You evade all the blows in flawless display of speed and agility. Perhaps you are the one. The mist clears and you are greeted by a middle-aged man sitting on a silk cushion. He looks up at you with a smile. Congratulations, Lost One. One? I am Cao Cao the poet. I delight in your arrival, for visitors are few. But you must best me in a duel of poetry. I find that words can cut deeper than any steel. Cao begins his poem. I lift my drink and sing a song, for who knows if life is short or long? Man's life is but the morning dew, past days many, future ones few. You think on the matter, and then recite your poem. Flash of genius would be helpful, but I want to spend the Knight of Pentacles first. Which I can do right here on this too. So why don't we do that? Hold on to you, page. I didn't have to do that. Points and another card, which doesn't matter. Well done. Wonderful! Absolutely wonderful! Gushes the poet. I have never heard such an elegant observation on roses and their colors. Truly enlightening. In the flash, everything shifts like you are jumping from one train to the next. You find yourself back in your dimension once again, confronting Shen, the mystical dragon of the enchanted King Gong. Well done, mortal. You are the first in many centuries to face the 3 challenges in return. I hope that you have learned from your journey. You step forward and ask Shen to grant you your reward for besting the 3 challenges. As you wish. Hero of the 3 kingdoms. Anytime you would gain health, there's a 5% chance that you will gain that much sanity as well. Oh, that wasn't really worth it. Okay, we did get lots of experience points, so we should take this. We'll use meta magic, so this will make it easy for us, slightly easier for us to win the challenge. If we have 2 eldritch spells in our hand and they both can be used, X is subtracted from the target level of the challenge, where X is the level of the edge. So we'll grab that. We'll take it into the shadows. Roll 1 bone and then select X revealed non-face trick cards and bump their card values down -X, where X is the number of cups rolled. Then draw a card. These are exactly the same. These are exactly the same? And everyone, we're about to wrap up our character. And we're not even halfway done yet. That's amazing. You are suddenly confronted by a translucent figure. It seems dressed in the attire of a previous era, perhaps the late 17th century. Your first impression is that it is not a hostile spirit. It seems to be considering you and taking your measure. Despite the non-threatening approach of the ghost, your confrontation with the supernatural is still very disturbing to your peace of mind. Perhaps you're getting a little too used to this. I would agree with that statement. You recognize this ghost's attire as that of a chapel or organ master. Your odd training tells you that it's a classic Class 4 free roaming entity. It has retained its identity from its previous life and seems fully self-aware. The ghost gestures gently as if it would like to allay your fears and make contact with you. You set about making contact through your skills as a medium. You have been taught the trance and meditational techniques at the Odd Academy. We we get a card no matter what, so it's useful to use it even if we don't score a face card. You establish a link with the ghost and are immediately overwhelmed by its sense of desperation. It needs your help. Oh no! Oh, we have to redo this the entire episode has to be redone, everyone. There's nothing I can do. We're stuck in this. We're stuck in this position. Oh, I hate bugs like this. Oh well. I'll still upload this. My voice is going out anyway. There's nothing I can do. We have to stop. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That's an hour that we have to redo. Oh, well. Alright, everyone. Well, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.